Let's continue on our series Adventurous Action. If you didn't watch the first parts, check the link in the description. From where we ended when JUMONG requests to enlist on Chief Yontabal's trade clan, this shocks the entire individuals. Chief Yontabal expresses to him on how he need to carry on with his life outside the palace. JUMONG wishes to get the hang of trading not as a prince, but rather as a laborer. Chief Yontabal enlighten him how he need to compete for the title of a crown prince. He thinks about how JUMONG can want to be a trade worker. JUMONG says he's not suitable for the crown prince. He might want to initially get familiar with the types of behavior that most people will accept as normal under Chief Yontabal's course. Chief request for some time to consider. After Marie and the group meet JUMONG outside and illuminate him that the reason they serve him is JUMONG can completely change their lives. JUMONG illuminate them how things will be not the same as now on, and vow to pay his obligations to these three. Inside Seong illuminate the group that assuming JUMONG is the sole beneficiary of King Gimwa's favor, and Seong believes this perhaps JUMONG's approach to acknowledging the challenge, meaning JUMONG has the opportunity of discretioning the rest of the world. Chief illuminate them how they have two tigers, meaning JUMONG and Daiso, yet they go with ideal decision between the two. So they determine to bet their destiny by accepting JUMONG. They come outside and illuminate him, yet on one condition. They won't treat him like a prince. In this way a superior should find it simple to instruct a subordinate. JUMONG accepts everything. In the royal residence, the king is educated the way in which JUMONG has entered Yontabal's group as a trade worker. The king informed Lady Yoa, however he assumed that JUMONG have his own reasons. Lady Yoa inquire as to whether JUMONG wins and become the crown prince. There will be a lot revolting and disorder from Daiso's people. Gimwa says to keep away from this. JUMONG should be recognized as a worthy challenger. Gimwa can give JUMONG the open door, not favor. In Hyeontugun City, Daiso and the Prime Minister show up, yet the governor refused to discuss with them. He let them know how he really want the king to come personally. They attempted to make sense of, yet the governor denied. They stay that evening and Daiso illuminate the Prime Minister how he can't get back to Buyo without having tackled the issue. They need to think the solution. Dochi tells Yongpo how they have the open door in a conflict among Buyo and the Han. Dochi has a method to secure salt with the Okjo country to facilitate Buyo's need. If this happens, Yongpo will win His Majesty's approval. After he informed him how JUMONG entered Yontabal clan as a laborer, Priestess Yumilyu comes to the royal chambers and asks the king for what reason he declared the competition for the place of the crown prince without speaking with the high priestess of Buyo first. King Gimwa politely illuminate her that she will no longer be consulted with regards to state matters. The king is irritated on the grounds that Yomilyu detained Hamosu for 20 years, and at last caused his death. She tell that it was for the eventual fate of Buyo. The king angrily exhort her not to pursue the desire of the gods, and she sends her out. She comes to her chambers and orders her worker to contact every one of the priestesses from the country. JUMONG shows Jia how he coordinated the things to be sent out. Jia is satisfied about his functioning rate. He requested this a long time back and he has recently submitted it today. Dochi sends Buyang to deliver a letter to Chief Yontabal. She comes and Sosono sees her, but in a jealous way. Byang illuminates Sosono how she came to deliver a letter to Chief Yontabal. Byang moves further inside searching for JUMONG and Ohi guides her to him. She demand Ohi to deal with JUMONG regardless of anything. She leave and Ohi begin doing everything that has been said. Chief Yontabal goes through the letter and Dochi requests him to return the salt they took from him. Yontabal agrees and arranges Wote to return the salt. Consistently JUMONG trains to perfect his battling abilities, so Sono this time was looking after him. She comes and asks him for what reason he really wants to become familiar with the behaviors that most people find acceptable. She says she can help him on the off chance that he require. JUMONG answer her how he don't have the capacity. As me and you question JUMONG's ways of behaving, likewise Sono isn't settled. In Hyeontugun City, Daiso is again informed governor would rather not see them. Governor enlighten his man how he's interested regarding what Daiso will bring to convince him. That evening Daiso arranges his man to set they move to some place. They ride that evening till morning and head someplace obscure. JUMONG meet his buddies and illuminate them how he need to examine something with them. They even meet Musong in the bar. They come and JUMONG ask Musong what he will do in future. Musong illuminate him how his life is destroyed as a result of him. JUMONG inquire as to whether he will leave his inactive ways and backing him in his arrangements. JUMONG guarantees them how he might be the crown prince upon his return in the palace. Musong asks how he might help. Jumong promised to secure a position for him in the palace, and keeping in mind that he's there, Musong can screen what is going on for Jumong. Marie illuminate Jumong how they were disrespectful to him since they didn't know about his arrangements, yet they vow to serve him to their death. Daiso returns to Buyo in private. He illuminate Naru his man how he will accomplish something horrible, so he needs his trust and loyalty. Naru agrees. Naru enters the palace and calls one of the royal guard whom we know is the king's first guard. He carries him to Daiso's chambers and they strongly ask him where Hamosu's body was buried. In the wake of undermining him he had no way out and directed them to Mountain Chunmu. They promptly ride there that evening and Daiso tells Naru to make a beeline for the mountain and finish the work. Daiso comes to Chief Yuntabal's area and orders Jia to take him to Sosono and tell him not to illuminate anyone. Sosono illuminate him. She heard he had gone to Heian to Gun City to resolve the conflict with the Han Nation. Daiso illuminate her he haven't yet settled anything, and nobody knows he's here. Daiso enlightens her that he haven't met any lady who has caught his heart. Trust, she feels something very similar for him. That second Sosono is informed that Jumong has visited. She illuminate Daiso. Jumong requested to work here and was conceded consent. Jumong enters and is surprised to meet Daiso here. Daiso lets him know how he's embarrassed to have a sibling like him and sends him out right away. Jumong hands his list of all things that came in today to Sosono and leave. Daiso returns and illuminate the Prime Minister how he should see the governor. They inform governor's man they have governor's gift before they leave. They let them in and he hands the box to the governor. He opens it and something inside shocks them. Governor look all the more nearer and understand it's the head of Hamosu. Governor consents to talk about with him. Daiso illuminate him how he killed Hamo and he has brought his head. So in return the governor assured to help him become the next king of Buyo. Dochi inform Yongpo they managed to collect 1,000 sacks of salt. So Yongpo comes and inform the king about his achievement. That second Daiso likewise returns from Heian Chugun and inform the king the Han has reclaimed its exchange ban. And furthermore given Buyo 10,000 packs of salt. Daiso makes a phony story how he convinced the governor. Sosono illuminate the news to Jumong however Jumong isn't annoyed. Sosono inquire as to why he feel alright in the wake of being embarrassed by Daiso, yet Jumong simply proceeds with his work. The priestesses across Buyo show up in the divination palace. They meet Yomilyu and she illuminate them their position is in Leopard. The ruler is stomping all over their position, so they intend to utilize their powers of the divine beings and stop his highness. One priestess tell her that she visited their relic, the Damui bow, yet she found the bow had been broken. Jumong's archery skills have improved a lot yet he recollects the second he broke the Damui bow. Sosono and her dad were watching and recognition his abilities. Chief Yuntabal lets him know how he once met somebody who was a gifted bowman like him, and that individual was General Hamosu, on the day when Sosono was born. Hamosu saved their caravan from being ambushed by bandits. Jumong informed them that person was his master, yet sadly died as of late. Jia comes and tells Sosono Daiso is searching for her. Priestess Yomilyu recalls when the king asked his 3 sons about the Damui bow. Prime Minister meets the king that evening and illuminate him how every one of the priestesses from the surrounding regions were summoned by the high priestess for a gathering. The king informed him how he no longer trusts the high priestess. Prime Minister asks whether it's because of the imprisonment of Hamosu. Gimwa says his heart longs to execute Yomilyu consequently. He proceeds with how he will presently not let his power being usurped by the high priestess. Lady Ye Sawyer praise her sons for their accomplishments and she think this will change his highness attitude, and close to that, Jumong appears to have little consideration for the county matters. The family jubilate yet Yongpo is not happy. That second Lady Ye Sawyer is informed Priestess Ma O Ryong from Sakui province wishes to address her. She comes and meet her. These are priestess from where Lady Ye Sawyer was conceived. They illuminate her they are here to meet with High Priestess Yomilyu. Lady Ye Sawyer asks whether there's something awful occurred. They inform her nothing terrible. They urge her not to stress over the issue of the crown prince. Every one of the citizens in Buyo know that Prince Daiso is the most accomplished out of the 3. Daiso calls for Sosono in the palace. She comes and praise him for settling the conflict with the Han nation. He gives her a gift. She opens and inside there's a lot of costly fortunes. He illuminate her this is an image of his heart, so he hopes she accept it. Sosono takes them and presently she understand Daiso is serious. Jumong comes that second and hands in the list of the things to be brought to the trade post. Sosono request that he sit for some time. She illuminate him how she doesn't understand him. His siblings have at least achieved something yet Jumong seems as he couldn't care less. So Sono asks whether he have no desires to be the crown prince. Jumong tells her that after his siblings have achieved something, he have come to ponder about how he can help Buyo. When opportunity arrives, Jumong have confidence that he will have a purpose. After that, Jumong comes to Dochi's place and meet Buyang. Jumong talks to Dochi and illuminate him how he need to take Buyang. Dochi says if Jumong needs to free her, he should pay her bond. Dochi inform him her bond is 5,000 yang, and her 2 siblings, 10,000 yang altogether, and advise Jumong to return when he has the cash. Jumong illuminate Buyang how the circumstance is in now keeps him from getting that cash, so he beseeches her to remain patient. One night, Priestess Yomilu calls for Yongpo. She tell that him and Dai So claim they went to Mountain Shizhou and pulled the bowstrings of the Damui bow. She illuminate him the Damui bow has been found broken. Prince Jumong claims he never went close to Mountain Shizhou, so it should be either Yongpo or Dai So who contacted the bow. Yongpo comes clean with her how they were not even able to string the bow. Yomilu realize now that the two deceived the king. Yongpo tells her it was matter of pride. Prime Minister and his fella stroll through the royal residence. They pass the little star girl. His fella illuminate him that the young lady is Bilri. He proceeds with that her gifts of divination are supposed to be perfect, and furthermore said to be the replacement of the high priestess. Priestess Yomilu calls for her. After they move out and observe Daiso and Yongpo, she utilizes her spiritual powers to identify who between Daiso and Yongpo broke the Damui bow. After she inform her that none regarding them, they continue to the town and Yomilu inform her it's the spot. After some time she sees Jumong and block his direction. She notice him and after she blacks out, Yomilu was in the cover seeing everything. Presently she understand the genuine person who broke the bow. We shall continue from here the next time. Subscribe to the channel to help it out. Thanks for watching.